What time?
6. Did you talk to him after that?
I think maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, if
There were
not,
concerns.
Let's do it both ways.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
cover
I
ourselves
might
both.
just be interviewing Deshaun.
And the individual, Wathenia, I guess he got a hold of her. I'm not sure.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right.
I'll
We'll
do
do
a
it both
couple.
ways and
And Dr. T, is your phone off?
it's the minor things, right?
Yes.
I doubt you would get a phone call right now, but
Never know.
And I'm just going to check with Deshaun.
Okay. Let me know when you're rolling.
All right, I'm ready. I'm recording. I'm rolling. Everything looks good.
So you'll be into that camera. Let's just play with this. Let's have fun,
Okay.
right? There's no reason not to.
Okay.
Put on your smiley face and let's
Okay.
do it.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director of the Children's Advocacy Alliance, where we bring our time, talents, and resources to improving conditions for children in Nevada in the areas of early learning, safety, economic well-being, and health.
Love it. Love it.
Okay.
Love it. Love it.
You'll get the edits. I could just pick up at the next piece, or
Here's what we can do. What I like is, I don't know if
You
these
want me to do it
individuals,
again?
we can also, I can do headshots of them, bringing them up when she's introducing them, right, with a lower third.
yeah, we can do that.
Why
too.
not? So, welcome to our first podcast. That's the only thing we missed on that,
okay,
right? Because remember, we're here for this this is the podcast. This is what
Yes.
we're introducing.
okay,
You know, you're excited about, being part of this, and so let's also mention the podcast, and then we'll try it again. We'll
so
do it
from the top,
Do it from
and
the
add
top
the
and add
podcast.
the podcast.
Okay,
Yeah, that was really good.
okay,
You're good at this.
okay.
Come do my show anytime.
Before you get started, I just want to do one thing.
You wanna-
So I'm gonna, when we have a break like that,
Yeah.
if we're picking up where we left
Yep.
off, so I'm gonna just compose the shot a little bit differently.
I'm gonna start from the top
so we
again.
can make it work.
Okay.
So,
Is it clean now?
okay. All right. I'm rolling.
Okay. Anytime you're ready.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director of the Children's Advocacy Alliance, where we're dedicating our time, talents, and resources to improving conditions for children in the areas of early learning, child safety, economic well-being, and health. Welcome to our first podcast, Making the Grade. What else am I saying?
Do you want to do it again? Yeah.
I can't read your nonverbal. I need to read it again?
Let's do it again.
Okay.
If you can
Slow down.
I do the same. I speak
Okay.
really
Yeah,
fast.
and we'll do it a few times until
Okay.
we really feel comfortable.
And do
Now,
we
pull
want
out
to?
that inner Oprah.
Do we want
Okay,
to
okay.
use? Right now we're using making the grade, guys. I want to be careful about that again. So
I think
Okay.
I'm just going to say it, and I'm going to say my pitch. Raising Nevada is more appropriate. I know that we're not adopting that necessarily, but making the grade is like you're just hitting this one thing that's random, and our whole system is going to mastery.
That's what you were telling me on the
I
elevator.
love the making the grade, like saying raising Nevada to make the grade. We want to make the grade and improve, but that's not like our goal is learning and mastery. It's not just like, you know what I'm saying? It's both, but and we're raising. We have children. We're raising Nevada, raising the bar, raising our state. So that's my pitch. But
and this could be a conversation for later. We
Totally.
could say, welcome to the Children's Advocacy Alliance first podcast. And we can keep it that simple, and then we can decide later what we want that title to be, and I can put it in.
Okay.
or you could do both.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chip? Raising.
Do both and do it without.
There you go.
Okay.
That's easy.
I'm gonna try to remember that. Am I still doing 3, or at some point I need to introduce each speaker?
Yes, if you can add that in,
Okay.
you go for it.
Okay.
Smile slowly.
Okay. Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director for the Children's Advocacy Alliance, where we bring our time, talent, and resources to improving conditions for children in the areas of education, health, economic well-being, and child welfare. Okay.
I thought that was great.
Yeah, I'd
Welcome
also,
to our first podcast.
welcome to our first.
Welcome
Okay.
to our first podcast. We'll be talking about mental health, and joining us will be, can't
Okay.
see that, but
Okay.
you know who they are and I don't, so.
Okay. Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director for the Children's Advocacy Alliance, where we're bringing our time, talents, and resources to improving conditions for children in the areas of education, safety, health, and economic well-being. Welcome to our very first podcast. Jesus Christ. Great.
It's our podcast now.
It's our
It's
podcast.
our podcast. Come on.
You
Uh-huh.
just need an iPad to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay.
All right. Hopefully it won't be 1,000 takes. I'm going to go for it.
Good.
All right.
You got time. That's why we're recording. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director for the Children's Advocacy Alliance, where we're bringing our time, talent, and resources to improving conditions for children in the areas of education, health, economic well-being, and child welfare. Welcome to our very first podcast. Today, we will be joined by Senator Dina Neal and Will Rucker as we explore children's mental health and the pressing needs facing Nevada's children. Okay?
Oh.
Okay, okay.
Let's do an outro. Just thanks for joining us for our very first podcast. Please tune in for our next talking about early investments.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Just as we have a closer.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us
For our very first
for our very
podcast.
first.
Please join us.
Please tune in as we explore early investments on our next podcast.
Okay. Thank you for joining our very first podcast. Please be sure to tune in for our next podcast where we'll explore early investments with Janelle Nance and Chelsea Bishop.
Let's do that one more time.
Okay.
And, sorry to interrupt, Vicki and Deshaun only, that's it today, so.
Okay.
Okay, good to know.
Thank you for joining us for our very first podcast. Okay. Thank you for joining us for our very first podcast. Please be sure to join us for our next discussion where we'll explore early investments with Jamel Nance and Chelsea Bishop. Thank you.
Let's do it again.
Okay.
I want you to keep the smile up.
Yep.
'Cause
Okay.
It's happened. We got through it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Love that smile. Look how
Okay.
beautiful that face
Yeah.
is.
Okay.
So let's keep that smile, happiness going, and let's get right through it. And you could loosen up a little bit because, whew, we got through
We
it.
got through it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Even if I haven't. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. All right.
You're almost
Yeah.
there.
Putting on my happy face.
Feel-
That's
you know,
right.
Okay.
Be yourself as much as you want to be. If you
Yeah.
wanna,
Okay.
If you want to, you know.
People recognize you as being you.
Okay.
So be you.
Okay. All right. Thank you for joining us for our very first podcast. Please be sure to tune in next session where we'll talk about, it's not a session, is it?
No.
No.
It's okay.
It's a podcast.
Yep.
All right.
Take your time. There you go.
I'm still surprised you get nervous about these things.
You don't when we're live, this is what's interesting.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
do this all the time.
You just survived your whole family, your mother-in-law, so.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Look.
true.
Hey, thank
Yeah,
you.
right, right, right.
Thank you for
Thanks for
joining us.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us for our very first podcast. Please be sure to tune in for our next podcast where we'll be exploring early investments with Jamel Nance and Chelsea Bishop. Thank you.
I love that.
That was great.
So
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Good
Okay.
job.
Okay, so here's the deal. The intro could really be used again, but it's not the first podcast. So if we do an intro not saying, welcome to our first podcast, we can use that every time.
Yeah,
So that could be our standalone.
yeah.
Okay.
Which is why I gave you the 4 different ones anyway, just to
Okay.
say welcome to our podcast as opposed to our first podcast.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So now it's just the one that'll go in front of everyone.
Right.
Okay.
So then that gets you off the hook.
Okay.
What we like.
Okay.
Okay, great. So let's try it again. This is not our first podcast. Do your same intro, and we'll be able to use that every time.
Okay. Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as Children Advocacy Alliance's Executive Director. switched that up and I shouldn't have.
It's okay.
All right, I'm gonna do that one more time. I promise we'll only need one more time. Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as the Children's Advocacy Alliance's Executive Director, where we're bringing our time, talent, and resources to improving conditions for children in the areas of education, safety, economic well-being, and health. Welcome to our podcast.
Love it. Right?
Yep.
We need an outro for Raising Nevada.
Okay. Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as Executive Director for the Children's Advocacy Alliance, where we're bringing our time, talents, and resources to improving conditions for children in the areas of education, safety, economic well-being, and health.
It's okay.
What am I? This is for Raising Nevada, right?
Well, why don't we go ahead? So
Or-
we're gonna have to introduce the guests for each one of these. But again, I can cover it with photos of them. I'm sure they all have corporate
Headshots and stuff.
headshot.
They should.
Right.
Oh.
So let's do them both. We'll just start with
Are,
today. The podcast is about early investments. Joining us is.
oh, I didn't do that one.
And
Okay.
I just marry it with that beginning.
What was the other thing? What was I supposed to be doing for this last one?
We're closing. Don't worry about it. Let's just do these first.
Okay.
Take that. Erase it.
Okay. Hello.
No, hello. Just today we'll be talking about our podcast is about early investments, and joining us will be. That's all you're gonna do.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Today we'll be exploring early
Start
Okay.
again, my bad.
I'm
Start
sorry.
again, I'm sorry.
Today we'll be exploring early investments with Jamel Nance and Chelsea Bishop.
The same for Raising Nevada.
Today, well, let me just a second.
Yep.
Today our topic is Raising Nevada, where we'll be joined by Deshaun Jackson and Vicki Wilson. I'm not looking in the camera, huh?
Oh, then do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good catch, because I'm not looking at it.
Sorry,
Okay.
our topic is foster, children living in foster care, right?
Okay.
With Sean and Vicki.
Hold on. Annette,
Oh, wait.
the topic is foster care?
Yep.
Okay.
Does it not say that?
It says Raising Nevada.
Raising
That's why.
Nevada.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
She can
Oh, it says
memorize
at
that.
the top. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
I can
why.
do it.
Totally my
It's okay.
mistake.
No worries.
No worries, she
All
got
right,
it. She
I'm
got it.
sorry. Me.
No worries. No worries. Today our topic will be. No.
Foster care.
Yeah.
Children living in foster care, right? Let me just write it. Children experiencing foster care. Or the foster care system. I don't know.
Okay.
How do you want to say it? I
Oh,
like to
okay.
say children experiencing foster care.
Are we? I'm sorry. Are we talking about the children, or are we talking about foster care and its issues?
Right, that's a good question.
I'm gonna make it. I'll use the umbrella term. I think.
Because since we don't necessarily know what they're gonna talk
Talk
about,
we'll just leave it broad.
Children in foster care.
we wanna leave
Maybe
it
keep it broad.
as open as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, so talk about foster care.
Foster care.
This
Okay.
or foster care in the state of
Keep it
Nevada.
broad. Today we'll be
Okay.
discussing foster care.
Okay. Today we'll be. Well, I'm not even looking at the camera. Okay. All right. Today we'll explore foster care with our policy director.
No, that was
Yeah.
That was good.
I don't know what Vicky's title is. So if I do our.
It's volunteer, but
Yeah.
let
Okay.
me
You can-
introduce her.
You can, yeah.
Okay. All right. Today we'll explore foster care with Deshaun Jackson and Vicki Wilson. Jesus Christ.
No big deal.
All right.
She's a volunteer coordinator, but I would just say from constant.
I wouldn't even let Deshaun introduce her.
Okay.
Because we're not sure who she
Okay.
is.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because she needs to separate our hats.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Today we'll explore foster care with Deshaun Jackson and Vicki Wilson.
One more time, smile.
Okay. Today we're exploring foster care with Deshaun Jackson and Vicki Wilson.
Great. So the last thing we need to do is just say thanks for joining us for this week's. Are we doing this weekly? Have we decided that or no?
I think we're going to start monthly,
Okay.
so I would just say
Thanks for
stay
joining
tuned.
us for this podcast. Please tune in next time for foster. What are we doing? What is it?
We talked about if we want to do a teaser, so we haven't really talked about education, the state of education in Nevada.
Okay.
Because that's, we can talk about anything with that.
Okay, good. I like that.
And we're rotating through the
different
sections
topics.
again, yeah. So, thank you for joining us. In our next podcast, we'll be talking about the state of education in Nevada, something like that.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Please be sure to tune in to our next podcast where we'll explore the state of education in Nevada.
One more time into the camera.
Okay.
Smiling. It's the
Smiling.
end again. This is the
Okay.
wrap up.
That was good.
All
We're
right.
so happy to be done.
Okay. Thank you for joining us for our podcast. Please be sure to tune in to our next podcast where we'll explore the state of education in Nevada. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was great.
The only thing is, I would say, keep smiling after
Okay.
you're done,
And stay into camera.
and stay at the camera,
Okay.
so
Just
that
give it
they
a
have a
couple
little
beats.
time to edit
Give it
that
a couple
out.
beats.
Okay.
Yeah, just like
Okay.
2 seconds. I know it
Okay.
feels weird,
I know
but
because we always look to the next person, but yeah, try to stay in like that is that person.
Okay. Thank you for joining us for our podcast. Please be sure to tune in next.
Smile, it's the end.
Okay. Okay.
Come on.
All right. Please be sure to tune in to our next. Well.
That was fun too. Thanks for joining us. Well, we'll thank
Yeah,
you first. We'll give
okay,
a thank you.
yeah. Thank you for joining us. Please be sure to tune in to our next broadcast where we'll explore. Jesus Christ.
You're almost there,
Okay.
sis.
Okay.
I mean, you're so close.
Okay.
What would you like to explore next time?
Just tell them that.
Just anything.
Vacations in Hawaii.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
You need one.
Thank you for joining our podcast. Please be sure to tune in to our next podcast where we'll explore the state of education in Nevada.
That was good.
Okay.
That was great.
All right.
I think we covered it.
We need we did the introduction for.
We did the introduction, then we
For all
just did
three of
we
them?
just did a broad one. I mean, if we want to be specific about the foster care, we can do that because you know you're doing that podcast. Do you want to do
So I introduced Deshaun and Vicki.
you
I
introduce?
did Jamel and
Chelsea,
Yeah.
did you introduce Dina Neal and Annette?
no, I did not introduce Annette. Okay.
We really don't. We need to.
Well, but Dina Neal, at least,
Yeah.
I mean, did you get her?
Yeah.
It
Let me
would
just
be
try.
me, Dina Neal, and Will.
Okay.
Oh, so we do need to say Will then.
Will Rucker.
We didn't do Will. Yeah, we did Will in mental health.
Let's see. She wrote this right. Will Rucker, Dina Neal, and just my name.
We didn't do Annette.
Which I honestly can come onto those and do it. There's gonna be plenty of.
No. Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as Executive Director for the Children's Advocacy Alliance, where we're bringing our time, talents, and resources to improving conditions for children in the areas of education, health, economic well-being, and safety. Today,
It's okay. It's all right.
what are we, okay,
We'll be discussing mental health with
okay,
Will Rucker, Senator Neal, and Annette.
okay, let me work through this.
Here's
Hel-
the thing, I don't mean to be, but I'm in this one and this one, so you don't need to go back and do those intros. I can come on and say, I'm Annette Dawson.
Yeah,
Joining
exactly.
me, here's Senator Neal.
I agree with
I
that.
don't think you have to put me into the first two again.
Because you're really hosting.
Yeah, and Deshaun will be hosting and saying the same thing, even though I've introduced him, that's okay. In my opinion, but whatever.
Okay, let me just try it. Let me just get through.
I don't disagree with that, but if you want to,
I mean, give it a try, but yes,
Explore it.
we
Okay.
built into everyone so that the host would introduce themselves
correct.
and talk about what their policy area was, and then,
Correct.
and now I'd like to introduce my guest,
Yeah.
so-and-so, and
Yeah.
they can talk about what they do,
Correct.
so.
Okay, I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it right. Philosophically, I'm committed to quality.
You're committed.
So I'm
Once
like,
you're committed, you're committed.
introduce everyone else. I'm gonna introduce that.
Absolutely.
Half an hour, you've done great.
Okay,
So,
all right. And then I'm gonna get out of y'all here.
You're good.
All right. Hello, my name is, yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Do you want
Great.
a drink of water?
I'm okay, I think. Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as Executive Director for the Children's Advocacy Alliance, where we're dedicating our time, talents, and resources to improving conditions for children in the areas of education, health, economic well-being, and safety. Welcome to our first podcast. Today we'll be joined by Annette Dawson-Owens, Senator Dina Neal, and Will Rucker, where we'll explore mental health. I don't know.
Yeah, that was great.
That was all great.
What
So
was
you
wrong with that?
looked away.
Oh, you looked away?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's all right.
But
Because
that's okay,
again,
because I can
we'll
move
put
into
their
the title,
headshots up there.
and I can move into the title too.
We'll put their headshots up there. I think that's fine.
Okay.
I don't wanna stretch out. This is
Mhm, it's okay. Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as Executive Director for the Children's Advocacy Alliance, where we're dedicating our time, talent, and resources to improving conditions for children in the areas of education, health, economic well-being, and safety. Welcome to our first podcast, where we'll be joined. I said podcast. That's good.
Podcast.
It's about fish.
It's,
a podcast.
it's a podcast. That's great.
You okay?
You okay?
We'll go away.
Allergies.
We were just making it work.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry.
Okay. Be up, do your thing.
Hello, my name is Dr. Tiffany Tyler Garner, and I have the privilege of serving as Executive Director of the Children's Advocacy Alliance, where we're dedicating our time, talent, and resources to improving conditions for children in the areas of education, economic well-being, safety, and health. Welcome to our first podcast, where we'll explore mental health with Policy Director Annette Dawson-Owens, Senator Dina Neal, and Will Rucker.
That was great. It was perfect.
Okay. Hello.
You're gonna do it again?
The next
Next
one?
one, yep, you can do it again. Next one, early investments. And we're gonna add also, Annette is in this one.
Okay. Welcome to our podcast on early investments, where we'll be joined by Annette Dawson-Owens, Jamel Nance, and Chelsea Bishop. You can just edit that in.
Yep.
And I
last
don't
one's
know-
foster care.
Did she say she was going to be in that one?
No, she's,
So I don't need to do that one again?
I have the foster care one, right?
Yeah.
We got them all.
Okay.
We got them all.
That's it?
That was good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know.
And
It's
thank you all
early.
for your patience.
No, that's what we're here for. We wanna make sure it's right.
You all need anything else from me? Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Take care of the mic off so you don't get.
Thank you.
Get stuck on that. Okay. Much.
Thank you for your patience and
That's what
support.
we're here for. That's what we're here for.
Thank you.
Okay.
Excellent job. Nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Nice
you.
pleasure to meet you as well.
Okay,